What food made you think how the frick did our ancestors found out this was edible? Acorns. How hungry one must be to figure out to pound them to powder and leach out the tannins. 3 times. Harkerel. Usually poisonous, unless prepared thus. The traditional method is by gutting and beheading a Greenland or sleeper shark, and placing it in a shallow hole dug in gravelly sand, with the now cleaned cavity resting on a small mound of sand. The shark is then covered with sand and gravel, and stones are placed on top of the sand, in order to press the shark. In this way the fluids are pressed out of the body. The shark ferments in this fashion for 6 to 12 weeks depending on the season. Following this curing period, the shark is then cut into strips and hung to dry for several months. During this drying period a brown crust will develop, which is removed prior to cutting the shark into small pieces and serving. The cassava. However, cassava is poisonous unless it is peeled and thoroughly cooked. If it is eaten raw or prepared incorrectly, one of its chemical constituents will be attacked by digestive enzymes and give off the deadly poison cyanide. As little as 2 cassava roots can contain a fatal dose. Poke salad. The pokeberry/pokeweed plant that grows in the southern US has edible leaves. Sort of. If you eat them raw they contain an neurotoxin that will make you extremely sick or more likely kill you. If you cook them the toxin will still kill you. If you boil them, the toxin will still kill you. So basically someone died after eating this stuff and their friends went, well maybe if we boil it one more time died, and someone else went 3rd time's the charm. However, if you boil them, discard the water, boil again, discard the water, then boil one last time, and discard the water again, the leftover cooked plant is sort of edible. The fish. Only a small part of the fish is edible and the rest is deadly poisonous. So how did they find out which bit was edible? Cashews. First, they come from a drupe that grows out of a false fruit called the cashew apple. So right off the bat, you'd never guess that it would be the part you'd eat. Cashew apples look kind of like a cross between an apple and a red bell pepper, just with a big ugly dark brownish cashew in place of a stem. Second, the shells of cashew drupes contain a substance that causes rashes and chemical burns on skin. So before you can even think of eating a cashew seed, which is what cashew nuts actually are, it has to go through a multi-step steaming and roasting process just to totally burn off all the irritants. Pigeon pea plant. It is also known as the suicide plant because its sting is so painful that there have been reports of people and animals killing themselves to escape the pain, which can last for days or even years. The sting is delivered by tiny hairs that cover the whole plant, yet someone was able to discover that if you painstakingly remove each hair from the fruit, it is edible. Live fish, or lutefisk. Don't get me wrong, I love the stuff, but man, first you go get a fish. Then you let it hang on a stick for months to dry out. Then you put it in water for a couple days. Then you put it in water with life for another couple days. Then you put it in pure water again. And then you cook it and eat it. My husband's Norwegian immigrant father looks forward to Christmas season and readily available lutefisk like children anticipate Santa Claus being fed and pretending to like. Lutefisk was part of my initiation into the family. After 3 bites, my future husband leaned over and whispered, "You can stop. None of us eat that garbage except him." Damned Viking descendants and their marginally edible fermented preserved foodstuffs. See also, Harkerel. Some mushrooms that require special preparation. Eat it raw or cook it like most other shrooms, and you end up dead. Boil it 3 to 5 times however, and it's fine. Edit. An example of mushroom requiring this procedure is Gerometra esculenta. Also my most upvoted commenters now about mushrooms. Also RIP my inbox. Okay, so boiling it once didn't work, and boiling it twice didn't work. But what if, and just hear me out, we tried boiling it a 3rd time? Fee. Can't eat the beans as is, gotta roast (M) first. Whoops, not yet, gotta grind (M). HMM. Not quite right yet, let's pour water over them, and drink the water. HMM. Let's try using hot water. Perfect. Terarium. A sweet tasting exudation that comes from glands near a beaver's asshole. Damn, this beaver ass smells great. Wonder what it tastes like. Well, that one's pretty easy to guess. Native Americans or perhaps European fur trappers cooked and ate different parts of the beaver. The one day, one of them happened to get this weird sweet taste and started experimenting by eating different bits one at a time until they pinpointed the location. Bada bing, bada boom. Bit of a big beaver butt bite. Does someone looked at that snotty looking thing from a shell and thought, yeah, I'm gonna put that in my mouth. Looks just like jellified grey sneezing matter from inside a seashell. Bound to taste salty. Do it goes. Ugh, get me some lemon. Peppers. Like, imagine finding this pepper, taking a bite, and then feeling your entire mouth feel like it is on fire. Then you decide it's actually really good though, and start including it into dishes to add spice. Honey. When something is guarded by swarms of easily pissed off insects with poisoned ass darts, you would think that would be enough of a deterrent that nobody would fuck with it. Wouldn't people have seen bears going after it? Rice. Who looked at a piece of thick grass and thought, yeah, I'll dry it out, bash it about, then polish it, and boil it, just before it turns into a sloppy mess. For those who don't know, lutefisk is a traditional Scandinavian, think Norway, Sweden, and Finland, dish where fillets of fish are soaked in water for days on end, soaked in lye for days, and then put back in water for another few days. By the end of this, the fillets are pretty much just jelly. Lastly, they get steam cooked and are pretty much ready to eat. I've never had it personally, but I haven't heard good things, and it's kind of a joke where I live. I don't get how my ancestors cold thought that would be appetizing, or why they would thought soaking their food in lye would be a good idea. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and comment below your stories to be part of a future video.